Every day there's members of the Forward Police Department that make me proud to be a part of the team, that remind me why I do what I do, and that show such professionalism and service to our community that I'm filled with pride. Today is no different. Now, obviously, we're here to give an update on the triple homicide, and nothing that we say here will take away from the tragedy of this crime. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family members and loved ones affected by this tragedy. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the first responders who showed up on scene that day and the investigators who investigated this. It's not something anyone should ever have to see, but they did their job and they did it well. Our thoughts and prayers also go out to this whole city of Fort Worth. I believe our collective hearts broke when we heard about this story. This was shocking, it's unsettling, and we knew bringing someone to justice in this case was paramount. Now I'm going to let Sergeant Loafman answer questions specific about this case, but I have to tell you how proud I am of our homicide unit, what they were able to accomplish in less than a week with a very difficult case, one that easily could have become a cold case if not for their diligent efforts. When I think about what they do, it fills me with pride, but not surprise. It's indicative of the work they do every single day. Absolute top-notch police work, and I couldn't be more proud. To tell you more about the details of the case, I'm going to ask Sergeant Joe Loafman to come up and provide a statement. Sergeant?
My name is Joe Loafman, Sergeant of the Homicide Unit. I'm just going to read from my bullet points. On September 21st, 2021, Fort Worth Fire was dispatched to the 3100 block of Bonnie Drive at 6:17 a.m. in reference to a dumpster fire. Once the fire was extinguished, the fire department personnel located dismembered body parts inside of the dumpster. Homicide unit detectives and digital forensic unit detectives responded to the scene in an attempt to retrieve video surveillance evidence. Video surveillance evidence helped us to identify a possible suspect vehicle. We believe that vehicle to be a 2005 to 2010 Jeep Grand Cherokee. In the following hours, we were able to identify the male victim, David Lawaris, Hispanic male, 1029 of 78, based on tattoos that were very distinct. Detectives then got to the job of investigating who the perpetrator of this crime was. We requested a list of all Jeep Grand Cherokees 2005 to 2010 in Dallas and Tarrant County. That list was over 7,000 vehicles. While reviewing the list, a familiar name to our office came up, a gentleman named Jason Thornburg. He showed to be a registered owner of a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Mr. Thornburg's information is familiar to us because of a suspicious death investigation from May of 2021 in the 4500 block of Valentine on Fort Worth report number 2100386605. At the time of this investigation, we did not have probable cause to make an arrest in that case. Detectives were able to locate Mr. Thornburg's Grand Cherokee based on information that we were able to obtain at a residence in Arlington. We sent detectives out to that location to surveil that unit, or surveil that Jeep. We also were able to locate where Mr. Thornburg was sleeping at night, which was a motel, the Mid-Cities Inn in Euless, Texas, off of Highway 10. Detectives went to that location, were able to obtain video surveillance evidence that on the night of the fire and dumping of the bodies, depicted a resident of the motel exiting a room carrying plastic bins with what we believe to be body parts of our victims. That subject made multiple trips to and from that location to add additional items to the back of his car. The time frame involved in those trips would coincide with the time it would take to leave from Euless, Texas, and get to the offense location in Fort Worth on Monty Drive. Yesterday afternoon, approximately 5:30 p.m., we observed Jason Thornburg exiting a residence in Arlington where we were surveilling his vehicle. 3 of my detectives approached Mr. Thornburg and asked him to speak with them. He agreed to come with us voluntarily to our office to speak with us. We also had the assistance of the criminal tracking unit out in Arlington, and that was just for safety purposes, but they provided great assistance with us to help us to be able to surveil this unit while it was in Arlington. Once back at our office, Mr. Thornburg participated in a consensual interview with my detectives, during which time Mr. Thornburg admitted his involvement in the death of the 3 individuals that were recovered in the dumpster on Bonnie Drive. Mr. Thornburg went into intimate details as to how he committed his crime, which, as all y'all know, I can't provide those details because this is an ongoing investigation. Once the details were learned in reference to this most recent offense, we went back to the May offense on Valentine, and we were able to get Mr. Thornburg to admit to that being a homicide as well. He provided information that only someone that was involved in the offense would be able to provide to us. Mr. Thornburg then went on to admit to us that he had killed another female in another state. We have been in contact with local law enforcement in that state, and I won't be speaking as to any of the details of that. I will let them speak on that subject at their own time. A warrant was secured for the motel room in Euless, and crime scene personnel went to the location, and that search continues at this time. Not really at liberty to share any details as to what we may or may not have found at that location. That information will come out at a later time. Homicide detectives then, after the interview with Mr. Thornburg, he was released from our custody and taken to Euless, Texas, where he requested to be taken. Detective Matt Barron prepared a capital murder warrant for Mr. Thornburg's arrest. It was signed into effect, and it was assigned a $1 million bond. Shortly after the arrest warrant was signed, members of the North Texas Fugitive Task Force, along with the Fort Worth Police Department Fugitive Unit, took Mr. Thornburg into custody in Euless, Texas without incident. Mr. Thornburg was then taken to the Tarrant County Jail, where he was booked in on the above-mentioned warrant, and that's where he remains today. Fort Worth homicide detectives believe that we have identified the 2 additional victims. We believe both of those victims to be adult females. Initially, we believed that one of the victims was a child, just based on the evidence that we located in the dumpster. I can't really go into any more detail than that. Positive identification will be made by the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office on their time. We won't be confirming any identification. We have provided the names and identities that we believe the victims are. I'm sorry. This is an ongoing investigation. I will provide y'all as much detail as I can, but just understand that there are a lot of things that I cannot say just because it will compromise our investigation.